So it's 8:45 in the morning and it's pretty blustery. Well, it's not too windy, so it's kind of nice, gentle snowfall. But I've been sleeping in a lot lately, I think, because now that it's winter, we don't get the sun up super early. And this is an example of a snowy day outside my craft room. What I thought I'd work on today is my December prompt list. So I'm working on 2 prompt lists. I'm doing Janet's December Zentangles and Create December by Documented Journey, her prompt list. This is the book I'm using to do my December prompts. I used a piece of canvas. I cut it to about probably 5.5 by 12, folded it in half, and then I took some watercolor paper, cut it a little bit smaller, probably 11 by 5, yep. And then I folded them in half. I made 3 signatures, and then I did my very first pamphlet stitch. I left these pages blank because that's where I'm going to either rewrite them or do something. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the cover yet. I'll wait till we're done and then I'll do that. So each day I've been doing 2 prompts. So this one, for example, is mistletoe and Navajo. So this is the Navajo here. So I'm not going to go too much in detail in that. I'm just going to show you the process. So I get out my sketchbook and I sort of brainstorm. I'm going to zoom in a bit. So this was my brainstorm for the first one. So I was just sort of playing with, well, how could I show the cat? How could I incorporate the cat? I wanted to have like a theme throughout the book since I was doing 2 prompts. So I decided to do cats. This was page 2. Came pretty easy to me because the doodle shape really looked like those amaryllis flowers. I hope I'm saying that right. And so and the prompt was light. So I just envisioned this little kitty between these 2 flowers. So that one came pretty easy. And it doesn't always, I don't always directly translate it. Like you can see this kitty looks kind of mad. And this one just looks, whatever. And I sort of switched how I put his tail. I decided to just put it over the edge of the pot. So these are just idea sketches to just kind of work out issues. The next one, this one was a bit tricky. It was sweater and then this pattern called lapwing right here. So I knew I wanted to put that pattern because it looked like cable knit. I wanted to put it on the cat sweater, but I had trouble deciding on the cat and the pose. And then once I decided on the cat, I was trying to play with the different colors. I just used felt markers to do these little sketches. And then my final one didn't really end up like any of those because I had ideas as I was doing it to, for example, to use black paint and then emboss, or black acrylic paint and then emboss these little snowflakes. And there's a video of this on my Instagram. So the 4th, that one came pretty easy. I just had this idea that the pattern would be a good little base, and then pine. I just did like a Charlie Brown pine tree and a little cat. So the cat changed. I didn't end up doing, I thought he looked like he was floating in space. So here I decided to put him more on the ground and decided to have him interacting with the little balls or the ornaments. The next one, I struggled with it. I was, really happy with it in the end. At first, I thought the pattern, which was this sort of snowflakey thing, I had different ideas. I think this was the first one. And then in the end, I decided to do just a little cat with some earrings and then put the pattern on the side. I'm really happy with the final page. I think it's one of my favorite pages. And I like how it, I used just some gel pen and some Paul Rubens for the shimmery background. So instead of doing a solid strip, I decided to have them. I thought, well, as I was doing this, I thought, well, it would be cool if this was like a hanging chain. So it was fun. This one I actually stole from myself. I don't know where it is, but I used my Inktober Snow Globe cats. I'm just gonna go get that, just a sec. So I used my Inktober 2019 as inspiration. And I do have a video flipped through on YouTube of these cats. So this page came to mind when it said winter animal, and I think I'd seen Colleen had done penguins for her day, and I remembered doing this penguin for my Inktober, so I thought that would be kind of cute to do. And I don't think I did a thumbnail. I didn't do a thumbnail sketch because I already had my Inktober as reference, so I used my Inktober as a reference, and then this is the pattern for the 6, what's it called? So that's called Whirly, and I thought they looked kind of like snowflakes. There, and I gave it a little Christmas theme by putting a holly on the heart. This next one, this prompt was ornaments. The Zentangle was called El Prado, which is these little twisty turns. And then this is with the Paul Rubin shimmer paints. So that one was a lot of fun. That one took a lot of work. I had a lot of thumbnail sketches for that. So I had, I could put a cat on an ornament. And then I had this idea I think I'd seen a page on Pinterest where they had 3 Christmas ornaments with some greenery coming out. So I used that, and then I just wasn't happy with the color scheme. And once I decided to do the Paul Rubens, then I just did a little mock-up of what colors I would use. And I think I stuck to it pretty closely, but then I added different embellishments than what I had there once I had it bigger. So that was fun. I think this might be my favorite page, and this one really took a while to come together. So here's the different sketches. So here it looked like the tangle, which was, what's it called? I think I did an Instagram video of this, but I called it the wrong tangle, and it's called Malb. So I thought that, and then I don't know, I was trying to say, oh, maybe I could just do it around the border, put some mistletoe, and have a little cat, a little bird, which I used that in the end. And then here, he's eating some cereal. I thought these little things could be dropping out. And then I thought, oh, it could be part of a tree. So this one really took a long time to come together. So this was the sketch that I went with here, and that one was a lot of fun to do. So if you want to see that one in progress, I do have a video on Instagram for that. All right, so that was my favorite. Then I used the Paul Rubens, I think I used the Paul Rubens paint for the background. Oh, I can't remember now. But if you don't have Paul Rubens, they're really, the shimmery ones, they're super creamy. Look at that, look at how pretty. And they're really, like I said, they're really creamy to work with. You spray them first, and then they just get this lovely texture. I added a Daniel Smith shimmer paint there. So I highly recommend those if you want to do some shimmery pastel-y colors. So anyhow, so I struggled with the bird on this one. I'm happy with him in the end, but for a while he was looking pretty rough. All right, off this page. So the prompt was Scrooge, and the tangle was called Tamari, and it looked like these flowers. And I'm like, how am I going to combine Scrooge and flowers and a cat? So here is the thumbnails or the sketches I did. So you can see that's the pattern. Oh, that's a different one. So that's the pattern. And I thought, well, I could put him in bed and put the flowers on his bedspread, but then I thought he looked like the big bad wolf, and I didn't like that. And And then here he looks more like Sherlock Holmes. I thought, okay, let's put him in a nightgown or a night sleeping costume. I don't know what they call it. And I don't know. And then here I went, used sort of Scrooge, Duck Scrooge. I can't think of his name. And that kind of started getting me going. And then I ended up going with this little thumbnail concept. I was just done. I was just so done with this page. I just couldn't wait to get it finished. So I don't like that one, but it's okay. And so I wrote past, present, future, and then did some DD mist going around. On the other hand, I love this page. It was hot drink, and the pattern was this little tangle here, which is super cute. And I was inspired by Lady Jan. She does a coffee tangles series on her Instagram. And so I did a little kitty drinking some hot cocoa or coffee. And then again, there's that Paul Rubens shimmer paint on the background. That one, yeah, so that one was easy. That was just one sketch. I just didn't have to really work at that one too hard. The next one was, oh yeah, so the pattern I thought would look cool in the tree. It's this tangled pattern here. Let me look what that one's called. I should have written them on each page. I just didn't want to take away from the picture. Yeah, 11th is tree and rabble. So I just had an image of a cat climbing up a tree with a little mouse on the top. I didn't see something specifically. I was probably inspired by Terry Runyon. She does a lot of cat watercolors. So I'm trying not to look at her images while I'm doing this series because I don't want to be too influenced. I'm trying to come up with my own ideas, but I'm sure there's influences from her in a lot of these. And there's a little star. I put some stickles on him, on the star, and I like the little mouse. And there's the tree and the cat climbing up the tree. So I was pretty happy with that one. And I had a hard time getting the background even. I tried using some aqua pastels combined with the some watercolors to do the background. You can kind of see where the scribbled marks. So because it didn't, I don't know, I had a hard time blending it, I just took a stencil here and I just used a baby wipe to pick up some of the paint to make like a bouquet effect. And scarf, I knew I wanted to do a cat with a scarf, so here's my thumbnail sketch, the cat and the scarf. I would do Becky's cat, Becky Kalora, because I happened to see her cat and he had really interesting coloration on his face, just really different and so handsome. So I did my best rendition of Becky's cat and I put a little jaunty scarf on him, and that's the pattern. The tangle is called 12 Bala. So this one was inspired by Elf. I have a reel on Instagram and it shows my Elf, the movie Elf cup that I have, and I use that just to inspire me as my like muse, and I put some stickles on here. Obviously that's the pattern, and I did a lot of work on that. This came pretty easy, like the concept of him holding the gift. That pattern was called Kaas, K-A-A-S. But I had trouble deciding on how to color it. So I had done some different ideas and I sort of let it mold over for a while. In the end, I liked this one the best. So I went with that. In hindsight, I think I would probably have done green in the little triangles just to bring that green in from the elf cat and to separate it more from the background. But, you know, it is what it is. And this one, the tangle, oh, this one was a beast. So the tangle is called PD, I think. And I like the tangle, And right away I thought, well, I want to do a wreath, but just figuring out what colors to use, how to make it wreath-like, I thought, well, I could put like these leaves around it, and then it just felt too busy. And this, I thought, oh, that's a bit better. And then in the end I decided just to keep it really simple and to just blend the colors to give it that 3D look. And I did 2 white kitties. I decided instead of doing a big door, because that would make the wreath quite small on my page, because my page is square. So to fit a whole door in, the wreath would be too tiny to get the details. So I just went with the wreath hanging on a wall, and I put 2 kitties on there, and they reminded me of Dee Dee's cats. So I tried to give them Dee Dee's cat's coloring, but this one looks more like Mo of the Three Stooges, the way his hair looks like hair. It's supposed to be just markings, but sorry, Dee Dee. I did my best. And I used the Paul Rubens Shimmer Gray for the background. And I cut myself a little stencil of some bricks. And then I did the same thing I did with the bouquet, where I just used a baby wipe to wipe up and remove some of the paint. And I did this while I was playing, having a craft date, a virtual craft date with Lady J. And this prompt was snowflake, and then this pattern here. And when I was brainstorming, initially I thought, oh, I could have him with a snowman, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cute, and I could just put the pattern in his hat. But then I looked ahead and I saw that snowman is going to be on the 18th. So I'm going to save this idea for the 18th. And I went ahead and came up with a new idea. I had this little skater cat, and the pattern reminded me of that poofy jacket. So I thought that was pretty good. And I couldn't decide whether to put him on a black background or not. And Lady Jan said, well, just cut him out and put him on black and see if you like him on black. So that's why he's sort of cut out and reattached to that page. So I did like him on the black, and that's what he did. And I put little skates with the gel pen, little strap-on skates. And then I just used white embossing powder on some Stampin' Up stamps I had. They're pretty old, these ones. So that was kind of fun. So that brings us to today. So this is that's funny how he's peeking out. So this is basically the doodle, organic, and the prompt was reindeer. So while I had my Stampin' Up stamps out, I thought I use this kind of idea for a reindeer. So I sketched him out, and I thought we could put this on his body just as decoration. And I thought, oh, that could be like a saddle, and we could have Santa. And then, oh, let's put him on a rooftop. And then I was playing with the chimney placement. Maybe we'll put Santa's footsteps. And then I had these 3 cats looking, mommy cat and 2 little cats in the moon. And I haven't done a dark blue background yet in my book, so I'm going to do dark blue. Don't know what material I'm going to use yet. And then when I sketched it, so I just sketched it in a pink pencil. Just this little pink pencil here it's like a mechanical pencil from the dollar store. And as I was sketching the cats, I thought, oh, it would look cute if it was their backs and they're looking at the moon. So I'm not going to draw their faces. I'm just going to have their silhouettes there. And instead of having 5 of these, I'm just going to keep 3, and so that they could be a little bit larger and show more detail. So that's what I'm going to work on now. So I'll probably speed up this portion of the video and add some music. And I'm not an expert watercolorist by any means. I'm a novice. I'm not saying this is how you need to do things. I'm just showing my process. Well, my process. I'm showing how I like having fun. I'm just dabbling and playing, and you don't have to be you know, fantastic artist to have fun creating art. It's just, I don't know, it's just fun. I'm feeling that I might get a little tired of cats though by the end of December. So, and my Instagram feed is getting very cat heavy. So I might take a break from posting these dailies for a bit. I might post like maybe a montage of 4 of them at once, the next one, and put something else up there because it's looking, like I said, a little cat heavy. I think Shelly Alred said catatonic. I feel like my Instagram feed's getting catatonic. That was good. So anyhow, so I'm going to start this now. I'm sure I'll run into problems with the snow and the roof, but we'll just work through it. We'll work through the uglies. And I hope you have a great day and enjoy watching this fast-timed watercolor. I know it's not everyone's favorite to see things in fast speed, but sometimes I just don't have a lot to say, and it's easier just to put it on fast forward. Here we go. All right, there's our finished reindeer. I wish I could have got the blue background a little bit more even, but it is what it is. And I think it's cute. One more thing. I just got a little bit of snow